again, YouTube. This is Snow from Rogue Cannon, and I'm here with a little bit of a surprise video for anybody who's interested. I did not mention it, but I am in the World of Warcraft Cataclysm beta, and this is a video run of Stonecore. Before I begin too much about this beta, I should mention a little bit of my experience with World of Warcraft. I've played the game since its release back in 2004, about a week after it came out, and I played it up till Burning Crusade, and then I quit. Now, I've just recently, in the past month or so, gone through Burning Crusade and began Wrath of the Lich King. The reason I'm so excited to do Cataclysm Beta is because I found those two expansions to be relatively lackluster in the challenge department. And this video here proves how, one, it proves how rusty I am at the game. You know, we're using new abilities. I have never played an elemental shaman. And you can see we do pretty sloppy with this trash here at the beginning. It's pretty raw. But, you know, it just shows that being a sloppy, terrible player does make you wipe. We don't wipe, but we come very close on pretty easy trash, so yeah, it's pretty bad. But don't comment on my gameplay. I mean, come on. At least I'm doing a video. Now, I realize there are a lot of Cataclysm videos out there right now. This probably won't be anything too spectacular or special, but, you know, at least it's there. It's more beta footage. Betas and previews are kind of my thing. I just really like doing previews of games that aren't out yet, talking about them. So, back to the game here. This group I formed by asking, I said in trade chat, I said, looking for random dungeon group, you will be on YouTube and you will be famous. And I got like 100 tells in 5 seconds. So, you know, people definitely want to be on YouTube these days. It's the big thing. So, the first group we had a little bit of problems with, which was kind of stupid. But, you know, we're just getting into it. I've only been on the beta a couple days, and I have not played a level 80 character yet. So, yeah, pretty weak in that department. But, these next groups aren't too bad here, these Flayer guys. But they do go into like a Flay ability. And it is pretty brutal. It can like kill people insanely fast if you don't step out of it or whatever. I should also mention that these are pre-made characters. This is a pre-made 85, so the gear's probably pretty insane. Actually, at the moment I'm an idiot and I'm still wearing PvP gear, which I do change after we wipe. But during all this, I didn't even realize. I was dozing through most of this instance. I just was not paying attention at all. So, I'm just putting some things here. But Cataclysm so far has been pretty decent. If you're expecting a completely different game, don't ever expect that from an expansion. But Cataclysm, in terms of content and direction, is about as much as you can change an MMO without doing, you know, new game experience for Star Wars Galaxies, you know, which just completely ruins it. There's a lot of things that are geared much more casually. A lot of things. The whole interface of everything, the spell books, the, you know, a lot of stuff has really been, again, more generalized, more casualized, much easier. I don't want to say much more casualized. You know, they've really just streamlined a lot of stuff to make the game cleaner in more aspects. And that really is what Cataclysm seems to be about. It seems to be about streamlining the game, kind of like a World of Warcraft 2.0, cleaning up the quests, changing a lot of the content. And whether that's good or bad is really up to the person who's, you know, playing the game. Being a vanilla player, it's kind of sad to see a lot of content go, but at the same time, you know, we've played it a million times. Maybe we do need something different. So these groups here that we were killing, there's just like a couple melee guys and a couple casters, and I believe that the casters summon those giant earth elementals, and they are pretty nasty. we're only on normal mode, and yeah, they are pretty nasty mobs. But we figured it out, and we managed to deal with it a little bit better. You are supposed to use crowd control a lot more in Cataclysm. It's back. It's not everything is AoE, AoE, AoE. A lot of things are much more vanilla-like in terms of dungeons, although not quite. There's a lot of mechanics that weren't vanilla. Some were added, some were removed. But this dungeon is actually a little bit lower level than us, so perhaps I look like a huge noob for doing so bad in it. And again, I've already given the reason for that. I've not played a level 80 character. I haven't played World of Warcraft in 3 years or so, you know, since Burning Crusade came out. So I am a little bit rusty. But, you know, it's good to come back and be able to see where the future of the game is going before I decide whether or not I want to come back to the game. But yeah, this group here, we were all kind of shady. Our tank said he didn't really know what he was doing. Nobody had done this dungeon before, so we were all just kind of messing around. Now, I'm not sure if this was a bug. I think I've seen this in another video. When Millhouse runs away, you pull an entire other group with like 3 of those elementals, and that's just undoable, as far as I know. It's just undoable. And so we wipe, inevitably. AoE flying around everywhere. But yeah, we definitely wipe. I think the druid runs off and makes it out alive, though. And so I cut that, all that bull crap, and then we're back in the action here, cleaning up the other pull, the ones that were left behind. But Elemental Shamans so far in Cataclysm seem pretty cool. They're a lot more like a mage. You have Hex, which is basically like sheep. I don't know too much that's been changed since Wrath of Lich King, because like I said, I'm very inexperienced with Wrath. So I can't say for sure what's been added, what's been removed. I do know, however, that Shamans now have a release enchantment kind of thing. It's much like how Paladins mess with their judgments by releasing the buff to get an effect. So I don't know all of their exact definitions. I don't have them in front of me. But I know that if you have like Rockbiter on a weapon, or if you have Wind Fury, for instance, and then you release it, it potentially makes you attack faster or something like that on the mob. I don't know. I don't know all of the abilities. I should probably research a little bit more, but I don't have that much time. So we make it here to the first boss. I'm now in my different gear because I realized I was an idiot in the PvP gear. But I only know this boss from videos, and even then I didn't really study it, so we're all kind of just messing around. He's not very hard in normal. We don't wipe. We get him first try. He's not very hard. I believe in heroic he's quite a challenge, but he's not too hard here. He basically just spits crap at you when he's in this phase. You just kind of DPS him as normal. And then he'll go into a second phase in which he'll dig under the ground, and you're not supposed to get hit by his trails of dust and ads spawn. And the ads aren't very hard to deal with in normal mode, and it's not too hard to dodge them. Excuse me. Like I said, I was pretty much dozing off this whole dungeon, and we didn't really have too much trouble with anything. Although we did not complete the dungeon, we did wipe on the last boss, and then the instance bugged out, and we were unable to get back to it, so the video just kind of... You get to see the last boss, though. You get to see what goes on. We get it to like 20% before shit just hits the fan. But anyway, you can see the ads here spawning. Lots of ads, but they're very easy to deal with. They're level 81, we're level 85. Only reason I chose to do Stonecore is because you have to actually explore the dungeon before you can queue for random dungeons. So you have to have actually found the instance portal in the real world, which I kind of like, because, you know, back in vanilla we actually used to have to travel to the instance every single time, and a lot of players, you know, they find that ridiculous. But the thing about Dungeon Finder is that you actually are never sure if you know where you are, like when you leave the dungeon. So finding it's kind of cool. Now at this point, I'm pretty sure we just DPS him straight down from half and then quarter, and then he's done. I don't think he gets to his second phase. I'm pretty sure we just DPS him straight down, which is pretty cool. But again, he wasn't very hard, and he drops a ring. I believe I will show you the stats here of the ring. Our group here is freaking out about it, but there are the stats. You know, stamina nearly the 200s and all that kind of crap. And I'm not sure. I didn't plan on speeding up the video. I kind of like it in regular time. But if you guys find it's too droney and too boring to watch in normal speed, just let me know, and the next video I'll be able to upload in a faster speed. But anyway, we go into the next area and we clear more of these flare ones, the guys that just rape our DPS. They're pretty brutal, but they're not very hard, honestly. You just need to not die to that. But I don't think any of us were really paying too much attention. I'll pay much more attention when I'm in heroics and stuff like that, which I would love to test while I'm in beta. Heroics are something I'm very excited about in Cataclysm. But we pull an ad here. We pull one of these giants, and I thought, you know, that might be pretty bad because these guys looked pretty tough. But yeah, there's only 4 of us alive, and we still managed to kill it pretty easy. I used my fire elemental totem for the extra DPS to make up for the rogue or whatever who died. I always love the fire elemental totem. It's so cool. It's one of the few things I like that they added. It's just a nice thing. Especially when you're soloing and you want to kill like an elite mob or something for a quest, it's very useful. But anyway, I also did a lot of off-healing this instance. There were some fights where I just did not trust our healer. And if he watches this video, you know, I'm sorry. I just didn't really trust you to keep people alive. Probably shouldn't say that, but there's a lot of trash. I probably could have just skipped through a lot of it, but some of you might want to see it, even though it's just DPS and try not to die kind of trash. I do skip the trash later in the video. Once you've seen all the packs, I don't think you really need to watch me do the same pack 5 times. But we just keep going here, doing these same things. The dungeon, it is easy. We are level 85, however, so you know, when you're actually leveling in Cataclysm and you're not going to have this kind of gear, you're going to be wearing greens. You know, this is going to be quite a bit more of a challenge. We are over-leveled and probably over-geared. I think our item level for a pre-made character is like 333 or something like that. So, you know, we're definitely over what you're supposed to be in here, and we're still having a problem with it dozing off. So, you know, it probably will be quite a bit harder when you're in actual Cataclysm, so look forward to that. I would like normals to be a challenge to prepare players for heroics and raids. I don't want raids to be a pushover. I think that's, you know, just so disappointing when you get to this epic raid against a character who's been in, you know, if you're a fan of Warcraft lore, you know, killing Arthas should be a huge deal, you know, it should be a big epic fight. So if, you know, if it's an easy fight, then it's kind of disappointing, you know. But just more of this trash. Then you go into another room, another sequence, which will be in part 2 of this video, which I will upload at the same time. But the next boss is the dragon. He's pretty damn easy. I think, I don't know, so that guy just keeps dying to these flares. It happens every pack. Just check behind me there to see if the golem's coming to rape us. But you'll notice there's another pack of flares in that random tunnel to the right there of the screen, and I have to warn the guy because he starts backing up into it. It started to scare me a little bit. But yeah, that should be the end of part 1. So